The story begins when two boys were born on the same morning. Same world, same sky. But one woke to the sound of the ocean, one to the sound of traffic. The world handed them different maps. Ahmed born into a coastal village. His first toys were the sea's gifts. His classroom had no ceiling. Zain born into City of Lights. His first lessons came from screens. The world was always at his fingertips. Ahmed learned to read the wind before he learned to read words. His father took him to fishing from a young age. Zain learned that knowledge was a race, and falling behind meant falling away.
Let's go play soccer.
Ahmed's school was the circle of elders. Wisdom didn't need a building.
Beyond the waves, but we must be patient.
You have 2 minutes left. Make sure you check your work before time is called.
Zain was taught that speed was success. Slowness was a sin. Patience was not taught. It was woven in. Ahmed learned skills from his elders from a young age. While Zain spent his childhood running, he would not know how to stop for 30 more years. Same age, different oxygen, different routines, different ambitions, different personalities.
You need to stop yelling. He is trying to study.
Zain learned that broken things can be fixed by patient hands. Ahmed learned early to disappear into work. It felt safer there. Where others saw danger, he saw aliveness. Zain was brilliant, but brilliance can be a wall between you and the world.
Thank you for your time this evening.
Ahmed never needed a reason to celebrate. Being alive was reason enough. But for Zain, loneliness in a full room is the quietest kind. He gets used to celebrating alone. Ahmed's GPS had no signal. It ran on stories passed down for generations.
Now trace a line straight down towards the horizon.
Zain learned to build worlds with code. He had not yet learned to live in the real one.
Yes! Nice one, keep going.
Ahmed never ate alone. That was not an achievement, it was just life.
The lentils are superb tonight. Pass them here.
Hunger was always secondary to ambition. He had been taught well. Ahmed knew how to do nothing. That is rarer than any skill. Zain got admission into his dream university. He didn't know that difficulties are just starting for him. A village seen from above looks small. From inside it, it is the entire world. A city seen from above looks powerful. From inside it, it can feel like a beautiful prison. Coming home was the best part of every journey. Ahmed had people who noticed when he was gone. Zain arrived to the university dorm. He would spend next 4 years of life there. In the village, respect was earned through labor and love, never through title.
Wow, look at all the fish. We did it.
The story was always just out of reach. That was what kept him running. By 25, they had both become who they would be. Neither knew the other existed, but fate made them meet. Ahmed taught the way he was taught, with patience, presence, and no fear of failure.
Minister, how do you respond to the allegations
Zain
raised
read
this
people
morning
like
regarding
weather,
the campaign fund?
patterns,
I
pressure,
reject
the
those
coming
allegations
storm.
completely. We are fully compliant with all regulations.
In the village, a problem belonged to everyone. Suffering was not solitary.
We did it!
The city taught Zain to absorb betrayal silently and keep moving. He had graduated with honors.
Opportunity for market expansion and sustainable growth.
Ahmed had everything without knowing it. That is the rarest form of wealth. Zain had everything the world said to want. Something was missing. He didn't know what to search for. In the village, there is love everywhere that doesn't announce itself, but is shown through actions. Zain was always half present. The other half was chasing the next story.
It really is.
I'm having such a good time.
Ahmed celebrated like someone who knew tomorrow was not promised. It made every evening rich. Ahmed didn't need a forecast. His body was the forecast.
We must secure the boats immediately.
Get me rewrite on the city desk.
chaos
We're live
was
in 30
Zayn's
seconds.
oxygen.
Stand by.
He had confused adrenaline for meaning.
I need confirmation on that statement now.
Ahmed danced at everyone's celebration as if it were his own. Joy was communal property. Zayn once again forgot his birthday. There was no one to remind him. That was the quiet tragedy he had learned to call independence. Ahmed never rushed repair. He knew that patience was the only thing that actually fixed things. Zayn lived in deadlines. Outside of them, he was not sure what he was. Presence was the highest form of care he knew. He never underestimated it. Then grief he showed up. That was all when it was everything. Some distances are measured not in miles, but in neglected messages.
How are you, Mama?
Rest was not laziness. It was how Ahmed saved himself for everything that mattered. Emptiness is not the absence of success.
I'm not sure how to say
Sometimes it
this.
is what success leaves
It's just-
behind. The greatest gift Ahmed gave his son was the space to become himself.
Yes,
Zayn gave his time in increments. He had not yet learned to give it whole.
I cannot believe you are doing this right now. Why are they showing now?
Well, maybe if you listened once
They
in a while.
fought the way people fight when they are safe enough to be honest, while Zayn
So this
chose
is
the
it then?
story every time.
We're really done.
Eventually, people stopped waiting for him to choose
I don't see
differently.
any other way.
Ahmed was always there not just for his family, but for his community too.
That one
Ahmed
is a
spent his time
cumulonimbus,
teaching the future
and
the
fluffy
lessons
white
sea
ones
taught him.
are cumulus.
Cumulonimbus. Cumulus.
Some
The human
people
cost
grow
here
into
is
the world.
immense. We
He
must
had grown
focus on
into
the impact on
himself.
these communities.
But Zayn, what about reader engagement? How does this translate to clicks?
For Zayn, he had traveled the world but still confused. Ahmed, he had been to very few places, but still in peace.
Final call for boarding pass. Gates B40 through B48 are now closing.
Silence between friends is a conversation. Only the lonely misunderstand. Zayn had curated a life that looked full. He had not noticed when it hollowed out. The most valuable things Ahmed gave were made by hand and took time. Zayn bought beauty. He had not yet learned to let beauty find him. All those years of language and love distilled into this, just sitting together, just being here.
Let us find
Zayn
solace
was
in our
present in
faith
the room.
during this time.
He had not
of
learned how
profound
to be
grief.
present anywhere that
We
mattered.
commend his soul to the mercy of God.
Joy that cannot be contained is joy that is actually felt. Zayn had mastered the performance of himself. The self underneath had gotten very quiet.
Here, take
Ahmed
this
celebrated every occasion with
And a
full
cup
love and
for you.
presence.
Make sure everyone gets enough. We have plenty.
Ahmed was rich in the only currency that compounds without crashing. He was there for all of it. Every small, unheroic, irreplaceable moment. Absence always sends its invoice. He just kept deferring payment. Some economies don't run on money.
Take this.
They run on something older and more stable.
Let's get this plank fixed.
Zayn knew his value in the market. He was still learning his worth.
Revised compensation structure is fair and reflective of my value.
Without screens, he was lost. He had not prepared for that. When the instruments fail, you fall back on what was always true. Ahmed had been strong for everyone his whole life. Today, he allowed himself one truth. He would do it all the same again. Every tide, every storm, every ordinary, extraordinary day. Zayn used to get work trauma on 3 a.m., wakes up yet again from a bad dream. But one day a fatal storm approaches the village. The sea does not negotiate. It does not send a second warning. Zayn was the first of few to know about the storm. He quickly started to analyze the situation.
Immediately.
Ahmed see the clouds forming above his village. He had read this sky before, in his grandfather's voice. He reaches door to door and warns people. A community that practices care doesn't need to be told twice.
Just bring the children. Move.
Hamid, playing with his life, somehow got his boat secured to the shore, the same boat on which his life depends. Everything he had built with his hands, he now had to hold with his hands. He had prepared for this his whole life, not the storm but the togetherness inside it. The sea does not attack, it simply reclaims. That is more terrifying. In seconds, the whole shape of a life can change. What took years to build, the sea takes in an afternoon. This is not cruelty, it is simply scale. Courage is not fearlessness. It is choosing someone else's safety before your own fear. Some things are built to outlast the storm. You find out which ones afterward. After a storm, the first thing survivors do is count each other, not the damage, each other. Hamid still smiles because his family somehow survived, regardless of the damage of his home. He had lost everything he could rebuild, nothing he could not. He stood in what was broken and did not break. That is the thing about people who are rooted. Zain flew toward what others fled. He called it journalism, it was also armor. He had reported suffering for years. This was the first time it had entered him. He had covered disasters. He had never walked into one while the air still smelled of it. Zain arrived with lenses and questions. He had not yet packed his heart. He had been a journalist for 17 years. This was the first time he had just sat beside the story. There is a moment when the journalist becomes a human being. He was approaching it. She was not a story. He was only now learning that. Everything he thought he understood about loss looked different from here. The only thing that truly survived the storm was a mosque and people's hope. A leader is not the one who survives the storm. He is the one who starts rebuilding during it.
One water and bread per family.
Two worlds walk toward each other in the ruins of one of them. Ahmed and Zain meet for the first time.
Do you truly believe starting over somewhere else?
He had never received hospitality in a disaster zone before. He didn't know what to do with it. Real conversations always start in the silence before them. Zain had learned to ask permission with a look. That was already more than he'd known.
Thank you, my friend.
Ahmed's home was in ruins and he still offered you tea. Do not tell me he had nothing. Their story he had covered from a screen was now looking at him from across a cup of tea. Ahmed spoke of the storm without drama. It had happened. The sea does what the sea does. What else is there to say? The storm took so much, but look what it could not take.
Remarkable.
A photograph has no monetary value. Tell that to the man holding it. He had photographed grief 100 times. This was the first time he felt like an intruder in someone's prayer.
I knew this would happen.
Zain saw
And I
hope in
didn't warn
Ahmed,
you.
who was still looking for his lost family. Ahmed found them. Something moved in Zain. He stepped back not from discomfort but from respect.
We are finally together.
Zain went to the place where whole village was living after the storm. He saw unity and strength.
Oh, thank you. That is beautiful.
They stopped being subject and journalist around the second hour. By sunset, they were just two men. They lost their roofs and kept their warmth. Some things are structural and some things are not. They had lost everything and they were singing. Zain needed a whole new vocabulary for what he was seeing. That night, Ahmed asked Zain, "Who is waiting for you at home?" No journalist had ever prepared him for that question. Nobody. He had never said it out loud before. He had never had to. For the first time in years, he was not checking his phone. He was just lying there, being changed.
Raise it up, brother!
Zain for the first time saw brotherhood in a village that is completely destroyed. The city could never teach him that. He had traded his notebook for his full attention. The stories got immeasurably richer. He stopped watching. He joined. The story became something else entirely. Two persons who were now hopeful of the future stand together. Ahmed already knew how it would be rebuilt. He did not need to be told, he just needed hands. Zain called the people he had been meaning to call.
We're all together.
It turned out there was still time.
Oh, thank God.
That's all I needed to hear.
Zayn had watched 1,000 sunrises on screens. This was the first one he had sat inside. Zayn deleted the old story. The real one had no dateline, no word count, no angle. It just had truth.
This section here is for the new market
Ahmed
stalls.
shows Zayn the plan he had to rebuild his village, not on any chart, but
We
on
will
sand.
reinforce the dunes around it. Feel it, Zayn. Feel the current against the hull. It's calming after
He
the
learned in
storm.
5 minutes what the sea teaches,
Around the post,
that you are not
twist,
in control and
and
that this
through.
is not
See?
a problem.
Now you try it. Like this.
Does that hold?
Perfect. That's a good strong knot.
You must listen to me. We have lived here for generations, but the sea is taking everything. We need help now before it's too late.
Oh,
Zayn spent some time with Ahmed's
I
family.
explained the rules,
He
but it
learned
seems
what
luck
truly
just
matters
isn't
in
on your
life.
side tonight. Better luck next time.
That night, Zayn had the best sleep of his life in the destroyed village.
I really don't need this, but thank you.
We love you. Stay safe out there.
Goodbye.
It will show you the way. Be careful.
Zayn left the village with a heavy heart, but he learned that life becomes beautiful the day you start enjoying it regardless of the difficulties. Zayn left, but the village kept on going. He stood in his apartment and heard it for the first time. The echo. Zayn wrote the most honest thing he had ever written. Millions of people recognized themselves in it. Ahmed read it and said, "He saw us." That was all the review it needed.
Is far more dangerous than previously thought.
Zayn published the article for his friend and left the city. A man who has lived by fairness does not need a system to enforce it. He is the system. Ahmed had rebuilt what mattered. He had always known what mattered.
We have enough supplies for everyone, and please move forward calmly and maintain the line.
Wisdom is not something you keep. It is something you circulate. Ahmed passed his experience to next generations. Zayn found a room by water. For the first time, he wrote only what was true. Turns out that was more than enough. The first boat back in the water was not the end of the loss. It was the proof that loss is not the last word. Zayn had written about the sea his entire career. He had never been in it. Finally, Ahmed had his home rebuilt. He and his family returned to their home. Zayn gave what he could. It was less than he'd spent on the art in his hallway. He felt that fully.
See that large white one there?
Some things must be
That is
taught
a
in every
cumulus
generation,
cloud,
or
like
they
a
disappear.
mountain of cotton
He would not let
floating
them
across the
disappear.
sky.
Zayn stayed with his mother. He was still there at 10 o'clock. He learned that staying was its own skill. They did not fear the next storm. They had survived this one. They would not be caught the same way twice. Zayn learned to read paper again. He learned to rest without guilt. Both took longer than he expected. Ahmed carved the name of his son on the boat he was making. He named it after the future. He always had. Zayn wrote a letter because some things are too important for a screen.
I will wait for
He
you
listened
here,
with his eyes
no matter
closed.
how long it takes.
After she finished, he was
Your
quiet
loving
for a
wife,
long time.
Amara.
"Good man," he said finally. Zayn had a compass and a letter. He had not been this oriented in 40 years. Zayn knew the way. He had not known many things by heart for a long time. He was collecting them. He was expected. That was new. He had not been expected anywhere in a long time. They embraced the way men embrace, when they know what has passed between them. Zayn had a friend. He hadn't had one of those in longer than he could account for.
Everything is all right.
Look, it says
Their
Zain.
name carved in wood outlasts everything.
So it does.
He understood that now with his body,
He finally
not just his
named
mind. Ahmed showed Zain the boat he made for his son.
Oh, I see. I was making a mess of it.
She taught him with the authority of someone who does not soften instruction to spare feelings.
Why do you
Zain
hide
had
so
helped
much of
build
yourself,
this.
Zain?
That was not a metaphor.
Because
He
if I
had
showed
carried
you
these
the real
planks.
me,
Ahmed asked
I'm
about
afraid of
Zain's
what you
work
might
the way he asked about the weather, with real wanting to know. Both men saw what they had built with hope and ambition. The people celebrated the rebuilt village. Zain sat by the fire and did not feel like a visitor.
Small.
Recovery does not look like before. It looks like what decides to grow back. Zain moved into the village to spend the last years of his life there in peace with his friend Ahmed.